Hello and welcome back to Let's Play Hearts of Iron 4 as the French Commune. In our last episode we started making some better progress in our Iraq war after we solved the whole supply issue, which still seems to be going okay. It was really just the port over here that was the problem. We're kind of facing tougher resistance now, as you kind of would expect, as we're sort of bottling up all of their forces into this one little area. But hopefully we can continue to push through. I think this offensive line here might actually not be the best idea. We might want to try to push just into one of these provinces over the river instead of spreading our offensive out across 3 separate ones. So let's actually delete this line here and we'll just try to take this one. This way we can push in from this province also, which does not have a river crossing, so that would probably be better. I guess we might be able to help out a bit more as well by assigning more tactical bomber wings. We still have air superiority here, I assume. We do have more tactical bombers down here in Provence. We can send you down to Damascus, say. Let's see, I'm not sure if we have anywhere else. You're the ones that we are just reassigning. We have another air base here in Tunisia, which does have tactical bombers. Let's send you over as well. And I think that's probably it, unless we have some in our other lands elsewhere. Elsewhere in Africa, maybe? I don't think so. None in Madagascar or over here, maybe? Don't think so, okay. Well, maybe a few extra planes will help us out here. So we'll let our divisions get into position for this offensive, and we'll see how that looks then. We have air wings with no mission here. You guys will assign to the Middle East and actually tell you to do close air support. Could do strategic bombing as well, but I think the air support is going to be more helpful here. These ones are still relocating. Okay. So we're still repositioning here. We could just begin this already. We have 9 divisions adjacent here, so we should be able to get this done at this point, I think. Since we're only attacking into 2. We don't really need to wait for the whole reposition to happen. And we are apparently still trying to attack across the river here as well, which I did not tell you to do. In fact, maybe just stop. Well, I guess if you're winning, maybe that's okay. Alright, we are going to take this one, it looks like. And maybe we should just try to push across the river to this province and cut off these southern forces, if that looks like it's going to be possible. So if we select you and maybe just 6 here, tell you all to go here. Can we take this quickly? We're leaving a sort of gap in our lines here, but I'm hoping they'll just stay here to defend the capital. No, they've repositioned some forces over here, so this might not be the best idea. Although we are drawing forces away from the hills. Could give us an opportunity here. So they've left 3 there. Let's see if we can attack in with our Alpine brigades there. With more success. Alright, we're not succeeding in attacking here, but we are keeping their forces from reinforcing this battle, I suppose, so maybe that's worth continuing for now. And we're making decent progress here. Specifically, we're keeping their mountain division away from defending in the hills, which seems like a good idea. Alright, maybe we'll try to have you, or just 4 of you maybe, help out in this battle. We can surround the capital. Seems to have turned things in our favor there. Though they are bringing forces from here. Might be able to stop them from doing that by trying to attack in there. Okay, this seems good. We can modify our government again. So we got war economy already. United Chief of Navy or Air Force. The Air Force might be good if we can get somebody that will actually help out our air supports further down here, since we did just bring some new planes. Seems good, but maybe there's other stuff that is more important. Ground supports. Or even one of our research and production advisors here. Faster air doctrine research time, something like that. I don't think that's too important to get these equipment designers. Let's get the ground support guy. Help out our tactical bombers. Okay, so that's that. So I wonder if we'll be able to just overrun the capital now. I'm gonna try it and see what happens. Well, it's going in the right direction, if slowly. Okay, I think it's going to take too long for us to get there. So we maybe should call this off for now and take care of the other forces before we continue with that. The German Reich claims Memel, with German forces on their border poised to attack. Lithuania has given in to a German ultimatum demanding the surrender of the old Prussian territory of Memel. It was passed to Lithuania by the Treaty of Versailles, but has now been reintegrated into the region of Ostpreußen. Have we yet reached the extent of German territorial ambitions in Europe? Experts are doubtful. So this is up here. Here? Yes. Now under control of Germany. Alright, so let's see. We'll try to push up to the river here. Let's just enact that plan now. And we have low manpower. Okay, so we'll be able to change our conscription law to help out with that at some point. I don't think it's really an issue immediately, though. And then we have Concentrated Industry 3. So we're already working on advanced machine tools and construction 3, so we're going to be way ahead of time on the additional ones. That's fine. I think we'll go for weapons 2 over here, maybe. Probably important to get that as soon as possible and get our production lines started switching over. Let's see, are all of you guys helping out here? Alright, I think we're going to probably take this. Eventually. Okay, we have the levée en masse. So that will reduce our infantry equipment production cost, which is good. We can get this for bonus to support artillery research, which is probably not immediately important, but getting down to army reform I think is going to be good. So we'll continue on in that direction. Alright, still making slow progress down here. Let's see, we probably don't need this many troops up here. Are you all participating in this battle right now? Oh, it's fine, we're gonna get into here very soon. Alright, we have Logistics Company 1. So we should probably attach some of those to our divisions at some point. We're no longer ahead of time on the next level of engineer and recon companies, which are pretty valuable, I think, so we'll start researching these. Alright, we should be able to, yeah, I was just going to say, we should be able to turn this around because we're now attacking from many directions into here, even though they have pretty good numbers and they're pulling troops out. And also, we seem to be doing good work with our tactical bombers. And we have advanced machine tools. This is going to increase our production efficiency cap, which is useful. Still don't need to get synthetic oil, hopefully. That is the whole point of this war, of course. We can get the next level of mountain infantry. Probably worth doing, since a lot of our defending in Europe is going to take place in the mountains. Having a lot of mountain infantry doing good work for us seems like a good idea. Alright, so we've bottled up most of their forces over here. Though they don't seem to be taking a lot of attrition or anything, or otherwise suffering any ill effects. Maybe we'll just see if we can push into the capital now. Yeah, okay. That should be victory. Yes, excellent. Alright then, so we only justified for 2 states here, but I think we'll probably just take the entire country, since we can probably do that. Puppeting him will not give us free access to the oil. We'll be able to trade with them. They'll always be amenable to trade with us, I think, if we do that, but we just get direct access to the oil if we annex them, so I think we'll probably do that. Took 3 stakes, Iraq was annexed, we even seized some equipment. Excellent. Alright, so let's see, we may have some resistance here if we can look at the resistance map mode. I guess we'll get an alert if it's problematic. For now, we'll send you guys back over here. Same deal with these Alpine troops. Alright, and since we are at peace, let's look at our division templates. We have unlocked some stuff that we can add to these. So we have recon engineers and artillery currently. We also got the logistics company, which is probably worth doing. Alright, we'll save this. We can also add those, I assume, to our other divisions. Though, let's see, you have 1.17 supply use. You have less, okay, so it's probably worth doing to all of them, I would imagine. We probably don't need engineer companies for a motorized division. Engineer company I think is going to be especially helpful though in the Alpine division. It helps with defense, and we will, as mentioned, be defending in the mountains a lot. I'm not sure whether adding most of the rest of these is going to be that helpful though. We might just add a recon. Did I save this one when I edited it? I think I did, okay. Wait, no. Okay. Let's see, we'll just leave it at that for the moment, I suppose. And let's take a look at our construction. So we're down to just building military factories now, which is fine. And repairing the infrastructure in Baghdad. So I think we'll continue to queue up more military factories. And start really ramping up production there. Possibly shouldn't be concentrating them all in the central region here. But it's probably okay. Alright, so we have maxed out this production line on infantry equipment. We might want a second one, but I'll actually wait on doing that until we finish the research on infantry equipment 2. Since I guess there's no point gaining production efficiency on a production line that we're immediately going to switch over. Alright, you guys I'll just assign to a new army here. These are our divisions that have been trained since I started deploying them there. I think we'll just have you garrison an area in the center here to keep you doing something. Not that that's necessary. But speaking of resistance map mode, it seems like we don't have any resistance in our newly conquered areas here. Which I guess is fine with me. There's not really any reason to leave troops behind here to suppress that then. And we do have oil now, though not a huge surplus, and this in fact I think is not going to be enough to cover all of our needs. Once we really start ramping up production of motorized units and tanks and stuff. But that's okay, it's better than having none, I suppose. We could always consider extending our conquests further, perhaps into Iran. Wow, okay. German Reich has declared war on Poland. Well, perhaps things are kicking off and we should turn our attention back to Europe. Though, Germany's attention is obviously not focused on us for the moment. So, they are fighting all of the allies, basically, not the US yet. Can we see what their war goal is? Take Sudetenland and Eastern Sudetenland from Czechoslovakia? Did they not already take this? They took all of Czechoslovakia. Either way, though. Alright, let's see how our defenses are looking here, just in case we happen to get involved in a war sometime soon. So you can see by the little bar here where what the strength of our forces here are like compared to the enemy, and we are certainly not looking too good in this area. So I think I'm just going to add this army to this front here, which should help things out. We are now over the limit that our commander can effectively command, though, so maybe we'll just replace him with a field marshal. Things are more in our favor down in Italy, so hopefully that'll be okay. And I think we should probably get started on building some additional infrastructure, such as forts on the Italian border. One of our focuses will give us some free levels of forts down here, but I think it's only +2, so we can get started on building some ourselves. Just go to +3 in all of those, and I'm gonna send some of these to the top so they can get started. Actually have you all go down by 1, and we'll keep building the military factories in parallel. And construction 3 will not actually help out with construction speed, because that is only a bonus to factory repair speed. That's okay, we can get excavation 3, which will get us a little more oil from our recent conquests. Alright, we're still a little comparatively weak compared to the German forces on this border. But we do have some additional troops over here. In particular, we can send the Alpine troops over there, though maybe they would be of more use on the Italian border. I think this is a bit more mountainous. We have some hills and mountains here, but there are some plains as well. Well, we can redeploy them later, I suppose, if it seems necessary. The Italian border is fine, basically. I'm going to leave a few divisions down here. Let's see, are these all colonial divisions? Yeah. We'll leave the colonial divisions behind. Assign them into a new army and have you guys head back here. Alright, so I think our next 150 political power should probably be spent on increasing conscription to extensive conscription, I suppose, since service by requirement costs 300, which should solve our manpower issues. We have Grand Battery for a little free army experience and bonus to support artillery research, so we'll just continue on in this direction, I think. So once we get army reform, this will remove the national spirit victors of the Great War, which is what is giving us a huge penalty to land doctrine research time, and once we have that gone, we can start going through the land doctrine, hopefully quite quickly, since we have some research time reductions that are going to apply here. So it'll give us extra planning, extra defense for infantry and motorized or mechanized infantry, various very helpful bonuses, and then we can go into either assault or infiltration. So this is mostly offensive bonuses, I guess. Infiltration seems mostly offensive as well. Extra breakthrough. Lower supply consumption seems good. Organization, I suppose, is not purely offensive. Reinforce rate. I guess we'll probably go infiltration. Maybe we'll decide when we get there, though. So we should probably also redeploy our planes, since we may need them. And from Lebanon as well. I guess that's where we had all of the fighters, so we'll put some of these in the north. It's probably actually a good idea at this point to maybe get Joint Comintern as our next focus and then go back to the defensive tree, now that I think about it, since making sure that we get allied with the Soviets is probably a high priority. Just in case we do get involved in a war in the near future. Alright, we're now looking much stronger compared to the German forces on the border here, but I think this may partially be because they've been pulling troops away. How goes their invasion of Poland? It looks like they're suffering a naval invasion over here, which is interesting. Though whether the UK will actually be able to hold this land is another question. We have free military factories, so we're still working on infantry equipment too. So we probably want to wait for that to finish before we add a second infantry equipment line. We're still not filling our needs of support equipment, so we can maybe add a couple to this. And let's see, we'll just continue to add to our other production lines too. We're definitely going to be in need of many fighters and bombers, so we can add those as well. What am I looking at here? We're at 1939, so we're still a bit ahead of time on getting the upgraded fighters and close air support, tactical bombers as well. Alright, you guys can be reassigned to this front. This army, I think we'll just hold back from being assigned to anything in particular. We'll just keep them in a central location and use them to reinforce anything that seems to need reinforcement. What is this army here in my French theater? Oh, that's you, okay. Let's make an Asian theater to put you in. I need to capitalize that T or it's going to bother me forever. Alright then, so we can modify our government again, so probably the conscription law is what we want to do now. This does increase the time it takes to train our divisions, but I guess it's a necessary evil. Alright, so we're up over 90% world tension. 10% of that is thanks to us, apparently, so you're welcome. Mostly it's Germany's fault. And it looks like Italy is actually a little bit stronger than us on this border now, so we might want to add some more troops there. But I guess we'll have a defensive advantage anyway, especially with the forts we're constructing. How are these forts coming along? We've built a couple, but not too many yet. Okay. Well, I think that's going to do it for this episode then. We're about out of time. We'll see what happens next time then, whether we get involved in any wars or not. Hopefully not for a while. I'd like a bit longer to build up my forces, but if it happens, I guess we will have to do what we can. Anyway, thanks for watching, and join me again next time.